Killing Floor 3 has been an absolutely disappointing experience for Birdy and I. And if that's what you wanted to hear, you can click off the video now. But we really want to get into why this beta has left us feeling empty inside for a game that we love. Because I'm too sick and tired of accepting any more mediocrity from these game studios that don't listen. Hey guys, Birdy and Heron here, and we've been fans of Killing Floor for a while. So we were really excited to hear the announcement of Killing Floor 3, and we really wanted to get our hands on it. Since we've been waiting for this game for about, how much was it, like 8 years, right? It was supposed to be everything we ever wanted. Instead, what we got was broken promises from developers who do not listen to their community. From mentioning returning back to horror roots, to promising they're listening to us and our concerns. Also, can you really call it a beta when it was 1 month away from a release? It's just a glorified demo at that point. It's just copium.
I've actually never seen a first and only beta so close to the release date in my life. It was a bit suspicious. And Heron played the beta way more than I did, so he'll be the one mostly talking about the beta part in this video. Before we even start this, did you notice how the survey did not even include anything about the satisfaction of the characters in gameplay? And how they were only talking and asking about the performance? Yes, we did too. Very suspicious indeed.
Anyways, I'm going to be giving you guys mainly my experience with Killing Floor 3 since Birdy left after the first round we played and she never even came back. She was that pissed. Anyways, I've put about 30 hours into the beta with over 100 gigs of footage that I can post if you guys want. I also soloed Hell on Earth with Luna at level 5, if that matters. No perks. Anyways, after playing, I felt absolutely nothing towards this corporatized, modernized trend chase that they want you to believe is Killing Floor. One of the first things that the Killing Floor community and I expect from Tripwire is solid and satisfying gunplay. And Killing Floor 3, in my opinion, does not deliver on that in any aspect. The guns sound so flaccid, and they're like any type of punch or meaningful feedback, and half of them are over-designed just for the sake of being futuristic. I can tell the devs have no clue how to make a satisfying gunshot, as many of them sound like I'm slapping a Zed with a wet fish. I did have some fun with Nakata's weapons, like his dual blades, and the feel of the shuriken throws when they hit a Zed's head. But most of the actual guns, the guns themselves, are such a letdown. In terms of game feel, I expected a faster paced horde shooter, but I didn't expect the sliding mechanic to be such a crutch. The dashing was fine, it was a bit clunky, it was connected to the sprint, and it kind of left me feeling a bit mediocre. But the slide was so forgiving and let me leave fights and bad situations way too easily. I did enjoy using my dash to dodge certain attacks though, but after a while I just started blocking or parrying everything. And I do gotta give it up, the parry was pretty nice. Parrying Scrake attacks and blocking Fleshpounds was kind of funny. But my god, do the animations actually suck. They do not do any justice for any of these characters, especially when I'm playing as a melee class who has to read and watch these telegraphs. There was no telegraphing on some of the attacks, which made them feel instantly thrown out without any weight to them. I would walk up to a Fleshpound just for him to instantly turn his body to swat me away with the most sorry-ass looking swipe ever. I was really let down with the animations across the Zcast. No follow-throughs, no seamless transitions between movement, no telegraphing on certain attacks. It was just a major disappointment, considering how Killing Floor 2's early development footage showed things like attention to guns and Z animations through mocapping. Something that I clearly can tell they didn't use for Killing Floor 3. Gun reloads would change as you leveled up rather than just being sped up. Z attacks actually had momentum and weight behind them. But now we're reduced to this?
So starting off with the Scrake, there's a lot of frames missing between like movements and stuff. As you can clearly see, it's very glitchy. It kind of doesn't know what it wants to do. And then you see something like this, it's very fluid and natural looking. You know, the weapon is smooth and it transitions from side to side, and he doesn't stop until either you're dead or it's dead.
Another aspect that I thought was a waste of time, yes, I mean it, a waste of time, was the Stronghold. I really did want to enjoy the hub since there are other PvE games with hubs that are more useful or fun in comparison to Killing Floors. The first one that comes to mind instantly is Deep Rock Galactic, which had a lot of interactables, a jukebox, a dance floor, a bar, seasonal events that changed how it looked, and a lot of other fun things. When I look at Killing Floor 3's hub, there's absolutely no personality in this. It took too much time since you had to spawn in, start a mission on the mission board, and then physically run to the VTOL every single game, instead of just letting me match up ASAP. There's absolutely nothing to do in the hub aside from going to the gun range and the armory, and that's it. I expected more from a hub to hang out with the players.
Design-wise for the Zeds, the color designs were just as amazing as they looked in the trailers, but I felt the rest of them were really smeh in-game. The Fleshpound and Scrakes were really underwhelming and non-threatening. Didn't even feel like I was playing a Killing Floor game. I didn't feel like I was trying to play anything that looked similar to being a horror-esque kind of game. I do appreciate and see where they're coming from with the new ZEDTIME, but I think it should stay as it was in Killing Floor 2. I feel like it's a bit patronizing and repetitive. Like, the Killing Floor 2 ZEDTIME was repetitive, but at least it was kind of fun and unexpected. It should be left alone, because the new ZEDTIME is not sufficient of a replacement, in my opinion.
Also, ZEDTIME's a bar now. You know, in my opinion, I don't really like it, but I can understand why people can get behind it, you know? I personally enjoyed ZEDTIME for being like a casual fun reward that showed up periodically, you know? And you just had to like make do with it when it showed up. But I can see where the strategy would be when you want to like wait for when the perfect time to use ZEDTIME would be for crowds and stuff. But holy shit, this UI is... What the hell is that supposed to be, dude? I hated the UI of the ZEDTIME bar, but I hated this even more. Like this has to be placeholder, right, at this point. But it's a month before release. I really doubt it.
Map-wise, the maps were not as great as they looked in the trailers. They were so bright. Why were they so bright? Even after I lowered my brightness significantly, it was still so bright. And I have no eye problems, well, as you know of. The maps lack color. They all look so monotone. Like, while I was watching Heron a bit after I had had enough of the beta, it just looked like it was playing a BlueStack mobile version, or rather a BlueStack desktop version of a mobile shooter game. It was absolutely ridiculous. It was not fun to watch visually.
It really wasn't, dude. The only map that I liked was that Bright City Streets one because it was easier to navigate and had a general direction. But my god, dude, the art style was such a letdown. I'm a fan of brutalist architecture, don't get me wrong, but this one was too sterile, too clean, and too generic for what it was. I hated staring at every single wall as a different shade of gray. It was annoying to see that color in every single map I played. But you know what other color I hated to see even more? It was red. The gore system is so cool and interesting with the flowering heads and battle damage. If I could see it. The blood effects clogged up so much of the screen that I couldn't appreciate the Meat 2 system, but it somehow seemed to have gotten a downgrade from what I could see in comparison to the videos that they showed off. I swear, this problem got so much worse in ZEDTIME as I couldn't even kill anything in front of me because I was hacking away at slow-mo Zeds with blood flying in my screen.
Well, as for what they did right, the skill trees are interesting and also a very welcome approach to me. But it would have been a lot better if they weren't tied to specialists. If they were not tied to specialists, it would have been 100 times better. Just having those thoughtful skill trees tied to the respective perks would have been fine.
I also kind of enjoyed the attachment system for what it was. It included upgrading parts on your weapons that would affect the damage type, the fire rate, the recoil, the damage, even block stamina and block strength. It made me feel like there was a bit more meaningful progression with my weapons, but that doesn't excuse the absolute lack of weapons that each specialist had. Speaking of the specialists, I did also enjoy the skill tree system. It made leveling up fun and had an inner progression with letting you choose how to level up your particular skills that you liked. There were some smaller passives like giving you more health or increasing grenade charges or syringe charges or throwables, but there were also more meaningful abilities that affected my damage output or whether I used ranged weapons or melee or it changed the effect of my grenade. And that was one of the things that I found pretty cool with the system. But again, the devs aren't listening and they lock this shit down to specialists, as Birdy said. Also, speaking of the specialist characters themselves, I hated every single one of them.
Well, we're glad they're thinking of reconsidering the specialist system, because that was by far the worst part of Killing Floor 3, at least to me. Like, I'm not sure why they thought that would be a good idea to do this, but I'm just so happy that it's possibly being reverted. But don't get us wrong, these new characters still suck in design and personality. They need to be made more lively, like the former cast. Everything else I have to say about this character design-wise, I already said in this video, so if you're interested in that, you can watch that. But yeah, we really went in depth on them.
Keep in mind, we didn't know the personalities of those characters beforehand, just their designs visually. But We want to preface this part of the video by saying we absolutely do not blame the voice actors for this. Their job is to deliver performance based on their direction and what they were given to work with. But sadly, it seemed like they were not given proper direction or good writing, which is worse in my opinion. I found myself hating the personalities and voice lines of each character. Foster was too lifeless and sounded so unnaturally half-baked.
I'll put a sock in it. Someone call janitorial services. Dead! Nothing to the wall! You fucking lemon.
Nakata and Luna had no personality aside from just hard ass.
This one's coming. Loco! A mierda, all that fragmentation ruined the meat.
Devlin was if we had Gage at home, and Obi and Imran, they were relatively better, but the writing and lack of edge is holding them down. I wish I could really understand what half the cast was saying though, as subtitles didn't translate what the non-English speaking characters were trying to say, which I believe will be fixed in the official launch, but it did leave a lot of memes coming from the players. I don't speak Japanese, Spanish, Urdu, or Igbo, guys, and I want to like your characters, but just saying they are saying words is kind of lazy when you subtitled literally everything else. I never felt connected to any of the characters, especially the one that will be in every single game you play, the Traitor. I can't really say much about the Traitor, since she didn't really have any single form of personality to begin with, aside from getting pissed when you shot the Traitor pod, which that was kind of funny, but aside from that, there was nothing else to her.
Well, what would I do to improve this game? Again, I'm insanely ecstatic this game is getting delayed. Now we have some hope for the future. It was needed, it was very much needed. And if you think this delay was not needed, and this game is fine as is, you're objectively wrong. I sound like a broken record at this point, but please, oh please, remove the specialist system, please. A game like Killing Floor does not need this sort of restriction. I'm so glad they're removing that crap. Like, these new characters also need more personality. While playing the beta, I feel like I was playing an AI-generated game with AI-generated characters. I'm just going to be honest with you. The spunk and the jokes are gone. Fix the Trader Pod lady's voice, please. The new American voice direction is fine, even though I did prefer the European direction of the first Killing Floor games. But whoever's directing her to talk like this is making her sound like an AI as well. Like, where are all the jokes about you dying to the Fleshpound, or the commendation of where you get the most kills in the round, and things like that? Like, these little things are what make Killing Floor. I just want the Trader Pod lady to insult me again. I miss that.
Yeah, you do.
And please bring back the old ZEDTIME. Make the maps darker. Add more color. I love these designs, but the Elite Zeds, they need to be more intimidating. And lastly, please add more perks. Please add more perks. Combining two perks and calling it a new thing is not a new perk. It just isn't. I wish we had, like, Demolitionist and support still in this game. Like, why would they merge into the engineer perk? It wasn't needed. If I could add anything else, just add these perks back into the game, remove the engineer, make that a separate class on its own. I would add more synergies between them, because you remember how you could collect ammo from your supports and grenades from your demolitionist? Well, they're gone because now they're the engineer, and they added the little ammo pack thing. Like, I know we don't have demo and support anymore, but hear me out. Adding synergies like how Marvel Rivals had maybe team-ups. Well, I'm not comparing this to Marvel Rivals, I'm just talking about Killing Floor now. Maybe some perks could have some synergies between each other. Like, for example, a Firebug having a larger AoE, and Lethal Flames by having a Demolitionist on the team, and the Demolitionist gaining some sort of like fire AoE after effect that lingers a bit after large explosions. Just something like that, you know? Just add more synergies between the perks and make it more dynamic and interesting. If people want to play new perks, it would be very exciting.
The devs did mention something along the lines of, like, seeing what perks, of, like, being able to see which perk is which from at a distance, right? That's why they were tying character avatars to the perks. I couldn't tell which was which during actual gameplay. I really couldn't. It's just cope. It's just lying. It's just used to sell skins. That's all they care about.
And this part is to the shills. I just pretend I'm looking at you right now. Don't you want a better game? Why are you satisfied with mediocrity? Why are you attacking the people who want a better game, calling us a loud minority? Well, clearly we weren't. This is not from a Reddit or Twitter echo chamber, X whatever. This is coming from our friends, the people we know in real life. they're not happy with Killing Floor 3. People just generally are not happy with Killing Floor 3. Don't you think you deserve a better game? A more passionate, fleshed out game? This game took basically everything that made Killing Floor, and it took almost a decade to make, right? About 8 years or so. It's almost a completely different game in the worst way possible. You shouldn't get used to the slop we're being fed in modern gaming. It is okay to ask for improvements, especially on games you have to buy to play. If the devs truly care about the game, they'll listen. And they did. It's okay if you were satisfied with that mess. But do not bring people down and attack the people, majority of the fans mind you, who ask for a delay, who ask for improvements, who ask for the game to be more fleshed out. What fans want is the core and heart of Killing Floor to be brought back. We're just letting you know that you deserve a better game than what they gave to us. And now with this delay, we might have that. It's something to be happy about.
If you're a fan of Killing Floor 3, then more power to you. We don't think you should feel bad about playing this game, but for a lot of the fan base who will be spending money on this product, we absolutely cannot support this type of product. It is an antithesis of what we as Killing Floor fans expect. A return to horror roots that had an oppressive, dark atmosphere with fun characters, freedom to choose who we want to play, and solid gunplay. This is an inferior product to what Killing Floor 1 and 2 are, and we are not willing to spend $40 on garbage that will last 20 hours at best.
Everyone, please, you should never be afraid or nervous to make your voice heard. Like, we're still relatively new to YouTube and our channel has like only 200 plus subscribers. And we still make videos like this that voice our concerns about games that we care about. We love this franchise. Please, never be afraid to ask for better games. You deserve better games. We're spreading our voices and we're earning money, just like you, to buy these games. Killing Floor 3 was not free to play. It was $40. Like, we're spending our hard-earned money on these games. Always know that you deserve better. Look at what we did. We voiced our concerns and the game is getting delayed and hopefully fixed and polished. This is what happens when a community comes together for the greater good. Like, changes get made and devs listen most of the time.
Most of the time, yeah. Thanks again, and thanks again for watching us crash out over something that we love. As always, we'll see you in the next video, and we can't wait to read all the hate comments coming from this. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.